Last week, you encountered a dreadnought pulling its way through the wreckage of the Valkyrie, which you exploded after your crash. The Black Star Comus shines down upon proceedings as the dreadnought clacks away with its autocannon and shreds the nearby acolytes. The explosion did you some damage, and there are bullets flying. Can you each give me a rundown of where you ended last session? Starting with Septimus, please.
I think I was paralysed with fear, vivisecting a guy's hand, trying to talk, but it just coming out in binary.
So this is a downed acolyte, is it?
I think so.
Okay. And Octavius?
I am halfway across the room with a smoking crater in my armour where I got hit by the bloody assault cannon.
Did you get hit by the assault cannon?
Yeah, I got hit by the assault cannon in the chest.
Oh shit!
That was
it blasted me across the room.
Was that not the explosion of the Valkyrie?
No, it was the assault cannon.
Okay.
I remember the notes. I got hit in the chest with an assault cannon round, but it blasted me across the room as opposed to killing me.
And
I think it was the explosion, wasn't it, that did that?
No. I swear it was the assault cannon. Well,
No, because
regardless,
he shot the charges and then the Valkyrie blew up and flung you across the room because the rest of us hid behind Vlad.
Yeah. Well,
So
you
by
guys were,
proxy,
I
yes, it was the assault cannon.
Yeah.
and Vlad, speaking of,
Currently massively unconscious.
so you passed out
That
from
is-
fear, didn't you?
He's down for the count, but I have a feeling he's gonna, eventually stand up directly in the line of some bullets.
And finally, Romulus.
Sprinting away at full pelt.
Oh, yeah, you were
Yeah.
fleeing for the nearest
In
exit.
blind fear, just running.
These fear checks, guys, they're gonna kill us.
Got willpower 40. It shouldn't have gone this way.
Right, Septimus. As far as you're aware, there's something going wrong inside your head. You're kind of like semi-aware of that, but what you're mostly aware of is that it looks like rather than blood pouring out of this guy's hand that you're cutting up, binary is falling out of him, and
Boy.
you start sort of like putting your hands into it, trying to find the source of the code.
Okay.
Octavius, you're in a lot of pain. You're completely covered in gore, and around you people are slipping on their own entrails as they are blasted off their feet.
Right.
What's going to be your first action?
I am basically going to try and stay as still as I can. Hopefully the dreadnought thinks I'm dead for the time being.
Play dead.
Yeah.
Okay. On the ground, Vladimir, at the moment you're experiencing a Vostroyan lullaby, which sounds like it's sung by a 65-year-old woman with more beard than you, and it's very, very sweet. Oh shit, we just lost Vladimir, didn't we? Do you reckon he dropped his laptop again?
He's back.
Oh, yep, there he is.
Hello.
Hi.
Yay.
What did you get and what did you miss, Vlad?
I missed. I got to the end of Septimus's explanation of what was going on.
Okay. Octavius is playing dead.
Yep.
And you've got a Vostroyan lullaby resounding in your head, and the pleasant gravelly tones sort of drift you back out of your sleep, and your eyes snap open to horrifying screams and the sounds of gunfire. What's your first action, please?
Is he gone again?
Maybe. Can we get a roll call?
Dead.
Right, that was everyone apart from Nick, right?
Yep.
Right. Nick, if you can hear us, we can't hear you.
Please come back to us. We miss you.
Screw missing him, we need his combat ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are in the shit if he's down.
You basically got an overglorified accountant The tech priest and the Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my guns will not make a dent in a dreadnought.
Anything
stun
I've
stick
got, I've
it,
got a
it'll be
compact
fine.
shotgun.
I'll jam my stun stick into the bit where they keep the body.
I wonder how quickly you die if you try to do that.
Probably amazingly so. It's fine.
Gentlemen, place your bets.
Chainblade, on the other hand, I'll go for the hydraulics. I'm sure it'll be fine. The source books are all full of heroic things like that from normal humans, right? Not of them just getting brutally murdered by everything else in the galaxy.
Maybe you're that 1 in 10 million, Gary.
Have you ever read 15 Hours?
If I pulled it off, I'd totally get recruited by a Space Marine chapter, right?
I think you might be a little old to go undergo gene therapy.
Nah,
They ignore that. If you kill a dreadnought with a shot stick, they ignore that.
they just put you through it anyway.
That will definitely not end badly.
It kills like men in the peak physical condition, doesn't it? Because it's so vicious.
Let alone dishevelled alcoholic ex-cops.
Oh, was that Nick?
I am back.
Hello.
I'm having a nightmare.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Did you drop your laptop on your foot?
No, I just stopped getting sound in through the mic.
Oh.
So I wasn't getting any sound from you guys.
Oh, that must have been maddening.
Yeah, it was really irritating.
Okay, just everyone give me a brief pause so I can find this moment again. Vlad, can we get your first action, please?
Can I get a proper survey of the scene? I want to go sort of full guard tack mode, see what...
Right, so you're currently on your back, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're probably going to need to flip over and sort of begin like Solid Snake stance to look around.
Yeah, belly crawling.
Yeah, belly crawling. There are about 30, 35 acolytes in this room. A lot of them are dead or seriously maimed, crippled, fatally wounded. And from somewhere behind you, from where the Valkyrie was, there is the recognisable sound of the autocannon. The air is filled with misting blood. You have no idea whether you've been hit or not because you're basically still in shock.
Yeah.
This is what you're doing at the moment is off pure instinct. Your body doesn't even realise you're awake yet. You've had to force it to do these things. Okay,
I'm gonna crawl towards cover.
Okay, there's this kind of area was was an atrium. It's not like a waiting room, but it did have sofas and coffee tables and sort of shiny stone floors and big windows and all the rest of it. And lots of light sconces, and you crawl towards an overturned coffee table, which looks like it's made of metal, in a sort of shabby chic way.
But I want to just get in behind that and take stock, make sure I'm not, missing a foot or anything.
Okay, you begin crawling. Romulus, you reach a far door, and you try to open it, and it turns out that it is locked. There are a few doors leading off this place, and you are kind of hammering on almost like wailing, trying to get through this door, and then a hole appears in the door to the left of your head, like a big kind of 4-inch diameter hole.
Oh shit! Okay.
And you hear the sounds of other people behind that door.
Run away from the door.
So the last session's effects are kind of wearing off, so don't feel like you need to be entirely constricted by them.
Is there kind of cover between me and the dreadnought?
Everything's kind of at hip height, and nothing apart from possibly those kind of coffee tables that are dotted around the room next to sofas.
Yeah, I'm fine leaping behind one of those coffee tables then.
All right.
Hoping whatever is coming through your side of the door will distract the dreadnought.
So you kind of weave between acolytes that are kind of in the process of going down, and throw over one of these coffee tables and crash down behind it.
Yeah. And can I pull a dead acolyte on top of me?
There is a dying acolyte that you can pull on top of you.
I'll pull him on top of me and just choke him out.
There aren't a lot of clean kills in this room, so a lot of them aren't actually fully dead yet.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just finish him off.
Right, so you drag him over you. Between you and the coffee table, or?
Between me and the door. So I'm behind the coffee table, and then this guy's on top of me. So whatever's coming through the door,
we'll see him.
We'll see him first. Yeah.
All right. Okay. You compress his carotid artery until he stops twitching. Septimus, your action, please.
Okay. So I'm going to hopefully start becoming to myself a bit more.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. Do interpret it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look up at the dreadnought.
It towers above you.
Has it got any insignia?
It is. Your initial, the very first thing that you notice about it is that it is very old. It's also still on fire a bit from where the explosion hit it. It's a bit dented. It's definitely not in full working order. But there are still scraps of paint that haven't, been overtaken by the rust, and they are green. And some of the metal decals are gold.
Okay, can I make a common law adeptus status check to see if I recognise the heraldry?
Yeah, but for the lack of insignia, I'm going to pump that up to an extra increase the difficulty by 20.
Okay, so minus 20, so... Alright, so I'm on plus 10. So 64. Yes, so that's a pass. No degrees of success, just a pass.
There are a few minor chapters that it could be, but the chapter that really springs to mind is that of the salamanders.
Okay.
Right, so you've kind of you've taken a moment to look at the dreadnought here, but what's going to be your first active action?
Probably to make this sign of the Omnissiah at it and bow.
The sign of the Omnissiah and bow. Okay. So just to refresh from last session, this thing does not look like it's behaving normally.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't see it as such, but we might look at it as an almost like weirdly organic connection to things made of metal and gears. This thing is twisted somewhere inside. If you treat it, if a dog handler were to treat a rabid dog like normal,
it seems openly corrupted, as it were.
Not corrupted in a chaotic sense, but the actual the machine spirits. There's something gone wrong here. You're getting a serious sense of insanity from it. But because you're what I'm trying to describe is your angle on it, and from your angle, it's like the actual kind of metal has gone insane.
Okay, so the machine spirits of the dreadnoughts fucked a bit, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm stood broadly in the middle of the room, aren't
I? Yeah, slightly to the left of its. It hasn't. It's not milliseconds away from mowing you down, but it will cut you down in a few seconds. Because at the moment it's just strafing the room.
Yeah. Okay, I guess make a kind of half-action move to try and move further away from its field of fire while making the sign of the Omnissiah at it.
Okay.
And then the other half-action will be aiming at it.
With your Luminum Blast, or...?
Yes.
Okay. Probably the nearest cover to you would be some of the wreckage from the Valkyrie.
But if it's within 2 meters, then yes.
Yes. There's probably a bit of the cockpit
okay. Yes,
line
I'll
there.
move towards it then.
Okay, whilst levelling your Luminum Blast. And finally, Octavius, can we get your first active action, please? If you want to continue playing dead, you can.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best bet. Well, I'm going very slowly, like hoping it doesn't notice me, start kind of almost sliding my way on my tippy toes behind some kind of cover.
So we've got 3 of you behind metal coffee tables.
Yeah.
And 1 of you behind a cockpit wreckage. Okay. There is an eerie silence after a very dry-sounding click from the dreadnought. This kind of click keeps on happening until it, and for like 5 or 6 times until it finally stops attempting to fire its autocannon. What are people's reactions to this? Does anyone have a particular action, or are you still waiting?
I'm going to seize the opportunity if possible.
Go for it.
I'd like to try, I know it's going to be quite difficult, but to get out and start trying to get into the flank and behind the dreadnought while it hasn't got a firing arc.
Okay. I'm gonna. That's basically just going to be 2 move actions if you give me sprinting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There is a terrifying moment when it pivots and traces your run, and the clicking starts again quite furiously. But that gun is clearly dry.
Cool. Thank God.
And you as you say, you begin turning it around and attempting to flank it. There is a different kind of metallic clank comes from its left appendage, and this kind of what you assumed was like a power fist type situation shunts out in 2 directions and looks like a hammer with a spinning claw on the top.
Ironclad, nice.
And it begins. It's still turning. So, are you running towards the window?
Towards the hole we made, yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot of window left, is my point. So
I assume there's some bits of Valkyrie there as well, still.
Yeah, there's some fairly big chunks of Valkyrie knocking around.
Cool.
Are you aiming for one of those?
Yes.
Okay. And you jump down into this kind of like not jump down, but like run through a bit of the burning wreckage until you find yourself like pressed with your back against one bit, waiting to see what it's going to do. Yep. Romulus, the door at the far end, noises stop coming from the other side of it, and you think you can hear the distant sound of lasguns.
No, so noises stopped coming from the door?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to toss the corpse aside and pop up and see what's happening.
Okay, you probably catch the end of Vladimir's run.
Right.
And so you're now aware that the gun is clicking dry as well.
Right.
And you're also aware that it has what looks like a fairly ferocious melee weapon.
And it's turned around?
It's turning.
So it's turning away from me now towards where Vlad's gone.
Vlad is moving faster than it is turning.
Can I make a scrutiny check on the thing?
Yep.
See if there's anything that looks like severely damaged or like a weak spot?
I think, to be honest, mate, I think you'd need some kind of Adeptus Mechanicus knowledge to look something like that.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
And well, I can give you a general impression, and the general impression is one of age, rust, but it doesn't appear to be impeding its movement at all.
Okay, that's fine.
But having said that, you've probably never seen a dreadnought in action. So
that's fine. Yeah.
Are you going to do anything with that knowledge?
There's not really anything to do with that knowledge. I will probably trust Vladimir to know what he's doing.
So you're going to retain your cover?
I will retain my cover, but I'll be ready to mantle over the thing if I think Vlad needs help.
Okay.
So can I prep an action to mantle over this coffee table if I need to?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Octavius,
Yep.
you've crawled through a lot of viscera to get behind this table. Have you ever been covered in blood before that you haven't deliberately shed yourself?
Not really. Like, there have been times where he's done, like, interrogations, but not this amount of blood.
You feel like it's in your eyes, it's in your mouth, it's in your lungs, it's in your stomach. It's all over you. It's kind of dripping down inside your pores,
Right.
clawing at you. And don't forget, a lot of these men that you crawled past were dying, not dead.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard men scream before, but probably not so many at once, and in such agony.
Okay.
One of the men is about 2-3 feet away from you, and he's almost kind of like reaching out towards you, as if reaching out towards a friend.
Alright. Basically, I look at him as opposed, because obviously we're in the same kind of situation. I just put my finger to my lip. It's just like shush, and then kind of almost motion my head behind the coffee table, as in that thing's still out there.
Okay. He opens his mouth and just starts screaming again, but this time he starts. His back arches violently, and he starts bucking. These blood-drenched acolyte robes are just kind of like splashing more blood at you, and then he abruptly falls still for a moment, and then there is a horrible rending noise, as if something is trying to crawl out of him.
Oh god.
Oh fuck.
Well, we're all about to take some corruption points.
Yeah.
For witnessing this, I'm gonna award you a special prize.
Yay!
3 corruption points.
Okay, 3 corruption.
Delicious.
The thing that claws its way out of this guy, obviously claws its way out through his emasculated nether regions.
Okay.
And is you get the impression of purple and claws.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like a low screech.
My instant reaction is just looking at the thing and just responding, nope, and then getting up and running running away from it.
You're going to get up and run.
Well,
Yes,
while the dreadnought was distracted with Vladimir, it's just like, nope.
Right, so it's not like I'm going to run to that point over there. It's like, fuck!
Yeah.
Okay, you scramble up and kind of like fall over backwards, sort of, over the coffee table, and back away, struggling to keep your feet as it's so bloody. Around you, virtually every acolyte begins to buck violently.
Fuck. Right. Well, I keep trying to shift myself away from him.
Okay, so my point here is that they are kind of all around you.
Right. Well, there's not much I can do.
No, but can you give me a sit rep on his state of mind?
It's literally all that's running through his mind is the word nope.
just repeatedly or once? Big long.
Just repeatedly, just going nope, 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 nope. That's the only word he can think of at the moment. The only kind of like semblance of thought that's running through his mind.
Romulus, the man that you were asphyxiating, does not start bucking. However, from your vantage point of looking over the top of this table, you see this happen, and you will receive another special gift: 10 corruption points.
25 corruption.
Oh shit! I think that's a malignancy test, lads.
I'm going to turn into a chaos spawn at this rate.
Well, join the club.
It's time for wangs.
Sorry, is there a Gary? It'll be unbound demon host. That's just what we need.
Malignancy test 220.
I've got one.
You what? Sorry.
I've already got one.
Yeah, so for every 10 total corruption points a character gains, he must make a willpower test to see if his corruption is manifested as little damage against your willpower. So it's a +0 test against your willpower to see if you get a malignancy.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. That's 5 degrees of failure?
5 degrees of failure.
Yeah. I rolled an
Okay.
81.
Can you roll a second D100, please?
Yep. 99.
Strange addiction! The character has a near uncontrollable craving for some bizarre and unnatural substance. This is for you to choose. This acts like a minor disorder for compulsion, but is freakish enough to cause a serious... Who have we lost?
I'm back.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh, that was weird. Did you guys miss anything that I said?
I didn't.
No.
Weird. I got a disconnect noise. Right, okay. Just give me another just 2-second pause so I know where this is.
No worries.
But the compulsion is freakish enough to cause serious suspicion if discovered. So this has got to be something that people would suspect you of being chaosy.
Okay. Should we tie it into my already existing malignancy of bloodlust and make it flesh?
Flesh, eh?
Considering I've spent my whole life eating people out of bowls anyway.
Okay, well, let's go with this.
Just cutting out the middleman.
So these what you kind of initially you're horrified and you feel something dark inside you when these beasts claw their way out of these men. But then you look at these kind of husks they left behind, and like the rent and ragged edges of gore, and you think, "Ooh, I fancy a nibble." Okay. Do you have an action?
Sorry, what was that one called?
It's you get strange addiction.
Strange addiction. And what page is that on?
290.
Thank you.
So if you get 5 more corruption points, Gary, you might get a mutation.
Awesome.
I don't know, man. They can be quite bad.
It's fine. We'll do a Black Crusade roll after this, and I'll just keep playing Romulus.
Actually, one of them is cannibalistic urge. That's weird. Okay. Sorry. Do you have a first action for me in response to this?
I'm gonna draw my melee weapons.
Okay. So what have you got in terms of melee weapons?
I've got a chain blade and a stun maul.
Chainblade and stun maul.
Although in this scenario, it's less of a stun maul and more a big heavy metal stick.
Okay. Right. You do so. You draw. These things aren't ready to attack yet. They're just kind of getting up.
Right.
But there is a lot of them. Septimus, from your vantage point, you see this dreadnought try and trace and fire Vladimir as he runs behind cover. When Vladimir reaches cover, you notice these things start springing out as well. Receive 8 corruption points.
Yay. What does that put me on to? That puts me into 20 corruption points, so I need to make a willpower test.
You do indeed.
My willpower is... what's that? 12, that's a pass.
No malignancy for you. Right. And so does the dreadnought. It appears to have finally realised that it has no ammo, and as I've previously described, its melee weapon has prepared itself. And it appears to have dismissed Vlad as a threat and begins stalking towards the nearest abomination thing that's crawling out of men.
Okay, so... sorry, is it my kind of turn, as it were?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a Mind Impulse unit, which means I can connect with machine spirits without needing to kind of plug into them.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and commune with this machine spirit. Broadly, there's no instructions for doing that. It's mentioned quite a few times.
Okay.
But there's no actual rules for it.
No, I had actually thought that you might do something like this. from coming into contact with this thing's mind, can you please take a further 20 corruption points?
Oh, gee.
Joy. So. Okay.
That's a I believe that's another malignancy test.
No, I was on 20, so I'm on 40 corruption now. So it'll be a mutation, then a malignancy, I think.
Oh right, does it go in that order?
I think after the first 30, you take the mutation, I think.
Ah. Yes, for every 30... Yeah, that would happen. Yeah, you're right. So you must make a test against 2 characteristics of your choice. Bear in mind that you can never test against these characteristics again to resist mutation.
Yeah, so you want your best ones, don't you, the first time?
Really, yeah.
Yeah, because you want to avoid mutations as long as possible, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't fuck those specific things, it's just what you're testing against. Okay, so that'll probably be intelligence and toughness.
Intelligence and toughness. Okay.
Intelligence, 21, that's a pass. Toughness, 79, that's a fail.
So a failure against either means that the character gains a mutation, or suffers a mutation, as it puts here.
So,
can you roll a D100, please? Yes, please.
61.
61. I don't think degrees of failure comes into this, so 61 is searing blood. This character's veins are filled with searing acids in place of blood, though somehow the corrosive effects do not burn his own flesh. Whenever he suffers blood loss, the foul liquid erupts, inflicting 1d5 plus CB energy damage. A corruption bonus, I assume that is, so yours would be 4, wouldn't it? So that would be max 9 damage. Pen 0. To each other character within 1d5 meters.
I'm reading some of these, that's not a bad one to get.
No, that's probably the best one to get, to be honest with you. Or one of the best ones.
Even
Some of these
think it's
really fucking
people don't
obvious.
even notice.
Alright, can you give me a corruption check as well, please? So this one is at minus 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, a malignancy test. This one's at minus 10 because you passed the 31.
That's a fail.
So, by the way, your degree of corruption is now soiled, by the way. Rather than tainted like everybody else.
Yeah, so it fails.
You failed. Can you give me a D100?
Yep. 11.
Dark-hearted. The character grows increasingly cruel, callous, and vindictive. Reduces fellowship by 1d10.
Yeah, because it was already so high. Oh my god. Do you want to roll the d10 or should I?
Yeah, I'll roll it. Hang on. 2. That's not bad. However, I would like you to inject some of that even into his fairly computery type interface. If you can, yeah.
Make his Medicare checks be slightly rougher than they need to be and a bit more painful.
It's about the thing about being vindictive, I think, because he wasn't vindictive. Right, there must be a malignancy section. Yes, there is.
Take off your trousers and bend over. I've got to check you for something.
Amputate limbs with sandpaper.
Really quickly.
Okay, do I actually manage to commune with this machine spirit, even though it fucks my soul to its damnation?
What you find instead of a machine spirit is something you don't even have words to describe.
Okay.
It appears to be operating like a machine spirit would.
Yep.
But is chaotic. However, I kind of want you to imagine like you've entered into another realm in a way, mentally, and you find yourself locked gazes with this thing, and you get the impression from it that it's hungry for another host.
Okay. So you'll hear. So, have I got any actions left this turn, then, or is that it?
You can do like a free action to talk. We're kind of in a bit of a free flow, semi-structured thing. So if you've got something that you want to do, just give me a shout and I'll let you know whether it's achievable or not.
Okay. The character's initial reaction would probably be to scream heresy and fire his aluminum blast that he prepared last turn.
Okay. I'm going to say that comes off without a hitch, basically. The aluminum blast does some kind of stun damage, does it?
It does quite a lot of damage. I think it needs to hit first, though, so I need to roll to hit.
Well, you can't actually aim it, so you're just going to be Because you're not.
No, it's
Go on.
sorry. Is it not just a ballistic skill check to do it?
No, because your mind isn't there, so you're just pulling the trigger on something that you can't see where it's going to go.
Okay. How do you want me to do if it hits or not then?
You don't. You've simply pulled the trigger. That's going to add to the scene.
Okay.
Because if you remember rightly, I was saying that you feel like you're somewhere else now, so you've kind of gut reaction pulled the trigger almost.
Okay. It deals 14 damage to whatever it hits, be that the wall or whatever.
40 or 14?
14.
14. Okay. I will bear that in mind. Do you have any kind of reaction action to this chaos spirit thing?
Probably Forbidden Law Archaeotech, or Forbidden Law Heresy, probably.
So you're trying to figure out what it is?
Yeah, Forbidden Law Heresy, I think, probably.
Okay. Make your check and then we'll come back to you.
Okay. Do you want the result now? Or...
Yeah.
So it's 45, so I'll definitely be a pass. But let's pass. Yeah, just a pass.
Just a pass. Okay. Vladimir.
No.
You're hearing some strange noises now that the gunfire has stopped. And then there is a rather loud explosion and some searing light that doesn't get to you.
I'm in full guardsman mode, so I'm going to go on with the plan.
And what is that plan, Vladimir?
So I'm assuming the chunk of Valkyrie I'm in is near the edge, right?
Yep.
I want to take one end of my grappling line and lash it to the inside of this piece of wreckage in some way. Good, tight guardsman's knot. Destroy and double hitch.
You do so.
The other end, I would like to hook around the pommel of my sword.
Right, yes. You begin tying knots and readying yourself for what could well be your doom. At the other end of the room, Vladimir and Octavius, you're both in a bit of a state, and into this state, a luminum blast lights up 3 of these beasties, causing a further shower of viscera, only this time it's purple blood.
Oh, for the love of God. Human blood is enough. Oh, God, it's in my eyes. I'll basically start trying to wipe the stuff out of my eyes.
Romulus.
Yep.
What's your reaction to this?
Is the one that was crawling out next to me still crawling out, or is that the ones that got shot?
It is stunned by what just happened.
Okay. I'm gonna plant my blade between its eyes then.
Give me a roll.
38, which is just a pass.
Just a pass. Your chain blade enters between its 6 eyes, and the thing's head judders up and down violently. As the chain blade wrecks its path through into where you assume the brain is, and this thing's lights go out. For the moment.
Escapes my lips.
What was that?
A mad cackle escapes my lips.
There is. You kind of let off on the trigger a bit, and then from behind where you thought the head was, a second head rears up.
That's fine. I'll use my double tap ability and hit it again.
Go for it.
This time at plus 20. 38, another pass.
So this second head that comes up had like a tongue that was like a rampant tongue that was whipping from left to right, and would have caused the guardsman's head to basically explode. You're made of sterner stuff, and bring your shock stick round. and jam it into its mouth, and the whole body now, rather than juddering, shivers with the electricity. So you're kind of stuck in a bit of a tableau with both of your weapons in this thing.
Yeah.
Around the room, these things are like spreading out, so their two heads sprout, and their forearms grow in musculature. They clearly aren't going to be small for long. So they started off around the size of a large dog,
Yeah.
And now they're kind of more human size. Big human size.
The free action, can I shout to kill him quick?
Right, Octavius, any action apart from pissing your pants?
Can I soil my pants as a free action?
It is possible, yes.
Okay, it's my free action to soil my pants. As well, I'm just thinking, do I have my shotgun with me? Because I would have had that like attached to me. If I've got my shotgun with me, I'll basically, just try and shoot at them.
Yeah, you definitely got your shotgun with you, I would say.
Yeah, so I basically almost come to my senses and like try and fire off a couple of shots at them. Well, yeah, like the nearest ones to me.
Yeah, make a roll, please.
Okay. Considering ballistics going at my specialty. 18.
That's a good roll. Your shotgun blast spreads out, and the various bits of shrapnel shred into the two heads of the nearest one to you. Doesn't quite kill the thing, and it begins lumbering towards you. Only another one of the beasts crashes into it and appears to try to mate with it.
Okay.
The second thing appears to be more mature, larger, and have you ever seen ducks raping each other?
Oh yeah, with the corkscrews. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, it's like that.
You've been watching Plague of Gripe videos again.
Meanwhile, in the realms of the in the realms of the damned machine spirit, this thing was once a machine spirit and has been corrupted, Septimus.
Yep.
It's been corrupted hard. This isn't something that you can machine spirit whisper back into place. This thing needs to be driven out. And currently you're not sure whether you can do it, and it's eyeing you up as well. For your not usually visual mind, you have horrible images of yourself as like a servitor type thing, at the beck and call of this spirit.
Oh no! We can't have this. We can't have the machine spirits be corrupted. We're gonna fight this thing all the way. However the fuck I do.
Kick it in the balls and run.
Yeah, I'm going to start chanting Omnissiah prayers at it.
Excellent.
Mentally, obviously.
Can you roll willpower, please? This is going to be an opposed roll.
Okay.
For the Omnissiah prayers, you're going to receive a +10.
Cool. That's a 7. I'm using a fate point to re-roll this.
That is good, because I rolled 21.
Okay, so 14, which is... Is it opposed in terms of degrees of success?
No, opposed as in the... I believe opposed checks work in the system as the lower the roll, the better. Is that correct?
And then what does the +10 give me?
As in, like, it probably pluses 10 to his score, rather than...
Okay.
It pushes you 10 away from his score.
Yeah, I got a 14.
Okay. In the kind of... You don't. It's not easy for you to think in abstract concepts, but this kind of shadowy darkness is what you assume a hell would look like, empty of all actual like tangible machinery for you to interact with, but your chants seem to brighten it up, and the cogs in the background begin to sort of fade into focus, and this beast this spirit tears from corner to corner, trying to find somewhere to hide from your light.
I will pursue it.
You have this intention that you wish to pursue it, and then this kind of like projection of yourself does indeed begin pursuing it. The chants become like they bounce off the walls and come back, and it's almost like you've got a choir behind you, all singing in harmony, and you finally corner this thing, and it spits venom in a tongue that you don't understand. Can you resist this with willpower, please?
Yep.
This is against the TN of your own willpower, plus increase the difficulty by 10. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to use another fate point to give myself a plus 10 to this to cancel that out.
Okay.
So that's a roll of 33. Which is a fail.
It's a fail.
By 2 points.
Oh, mate, that's gotta hurt.
This thing strikes deep into your mind. Can you? How many pieces of gear do you have?
In terms of tech gear.
Tech gear that you are like intricately connected to.
4.
4. 1 sec. Could you give them a numerical value, please? Like 1 through 4. Assign them a number.
In terms of importance, or just randomly?
No, whatever you choose. Just assign each of them a number between 1 and 4.
Okay, done.
Number 3 stops working.
Okay, that's my calculus logi upgrade.
Okay, so basically it's bricked.
Okay.
And you feel the voices behind you. You feel like hurt integrally, and the voices behind you falter and stutter, and your own prayer takes a staccato stutter of its own and pauses. And the shadows begin encroaching again, covering up the gears and levers that you brought to this place.
Oh, heresy.
Vladimir. Tell me where you at, bro.
So I'm assuming the line is nice and secure at both ends.
It is perfectly secure at both ends. Your father could not have tied a better knot.
I want to take a quick glance around, see if the dreadnought is facing me or facing away.
It's facing away.
In that case, barrel for the back, and I'm going to try and jam this sword into anything that looks like a reasonably sized vent.
Okay, so your move action is one of your kind of like actions or half actions or whatever it is in this system.
Yeah.
Can you give me a charge attack roll? Gary, I think you know how those works, don't you?
You get plus 20 to the attack roll.
Plus 20 to the attack roll. There we go.
Okay, I got success with 44.
44. That's a success. Okay. You run at this thing. You've trained physically your entire life. You've trained martially your entire life. And all of that power and explosivity drives you out from where you are. Your sword raised, ready for the plunging dash. You reach this dreadnought. It's not aware of you. It appears to be kind of like twitching slightly, really, really fast. And you find one of its back vents and plunge your arm all the way through and in. Your sword disappears through it. The hilt of like the guard of your sword disappears through it. Your hand goes into it, and most of your forearm goes into it. You feel a searing pain from that hand.
Yeah.
And like that kind of that feeling where it goes cold, like way too cold, so cold it burns.
Yeah.
And then the fire, then fire spews out of this vent as this dreadnought initiates what looks like a powered up charge. And your hand comes out blackened and split. However, your sword was in it, and it appears to hold steady. Because halfway through its charge, at the end of its charge, just as it reaches the first of these beasts, it swings this huge arm of its and reduces it to like bits of a being. Parts of this thing go flying, and it tries to take another step, but it can't. And the bit of Valkyrie near the edge scrapes along the ground as the dreadnought begins pulling it. But it's not having much luck. So you kind of tethered it.
Yeah.
So let's figure out your damage here. Basically, I'm gonna. What health are you on?
2.
You're on 2 health. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you could take 5, but I've already given you your critical damage, which is a horrific burn to your right arm.
Okay. So will I reduce my armor and toughness from this damage as standard?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm fine.
yeah.
I just get really badly burnt.
Yeah. The arm is basically going to be unusable for a while. To a certain degree, you're going to be able to use it, but you're going to take penalties for anything you do with it.
Okay.
Right. So you're kind of like, are you kind of like you stood there now holding this kind of battered arm, watching it? What's your next move here?
It's going to be moved back towards that chunk of Valkyrie.
Okay. You kind of you know how when someone's like broken their arm or something, they kind of like cradle it and their shoulders hunch over it. You do that and make your way back towards the. I assume you're kind of like at a fair pace getting back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Octavius.
You're right.
You saw one of the nearby beasties get vaporized by the dreadnought's melee weapon. You've been consistently firing your weapon.
Okay.
I assume you've been firing it at these two mating
Yeah.
Slaneshi beasts.
I'll basically fire at anything that moves.
Just as a side note, Romulus, a bit of shotgun shrapnel scrapes off the table near you.
Friendly fire!
Fucking sue me!
Is there a litigation system in 40k?
I hope so.
What do you think Octavius does for a living?
Think how corrupted the lawyers must be.
Oh my god! Mecha sharks.
This one's for case and this one's for bar.
Very much. Right.
So to give you and Romulus a sit rep of the situation, because you're kind of like the ones seeing the most of it at the moment. There are something like 20, what you might classify, if you knew anything about it, minor demons of Slanesh.
Okay.
In this room.
Oh man, that's not good.
It's bad. It's bad news.
One of these things fucked me up in the past, so.
Right.
A few of them are dead. You've successfully fought a couple of them. The dreadnought's got one, and the dead bodies, the bodies that were actually dead, aren't producing anything.
Right. Okay, so as soon as my shotgun runs dry, I basically scramble around for like whatever weapon I could find and just start spraying shots everywhere.
Okay.
Almost like suppressing.
I'm gonna GMD that you find an auto pistol, just a bog standard auto pistol.
Oh, basically like a Uzi or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and just begin pulling the trigger at these things, making it rain, but not in any kind of like cohesive, militarily exact way.
Almost suppressing, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like wherever I see movement, I blast.
But I can't imagine Chaos Demons are not immune to suppressing fire. But anyway, Romulus, you're you kind of chewing through them with these weapons of yours.
Have I seen what Vlad's doing?
Yes.
And I've seen what's happened to him?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to, move towards him whilst cutting my way through. So any of it come near me, I'll take a swing at, but I'm trying to get towards him.
They all appear to be fairly keen on mating.
Right.
So that
can
that's
only be bad.
yeah. But it means that a lot of them don't get in your way, so you have a fairly unrestricted run at it. However, the dreadnought is facing your general direction, so if you come within its range, it's probably going to mulch you.
Okay, I will dance just out of its range to try and distract it.
Playing with fire there, boy.
Giving Vlad time to do to achieve his plan.
Right, this thing takes a step towards you, and the wreckage at the other end scrapes a few more inches as it tries to pull against it, and its hammer very nearly completely batters you to pieces. So I think I'm just going to straight up award you some insanity points here, because that is just mental what you just did.
That's fine.
Just take 3.
3. Oh, all goes close. It's close. Puts me on 9.
And in the recesses of this thing's mind, Septimus, you do battle once more. Do you wish to continue with your chanting? Whoa.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
my
God damn it, Septimus.
Wasn't me. It sounded like Nick.
That's the noise Septimus's voice box is making at the moment to the rest
Yeah.
of us.
Nothing happened.
Did you drop your laptop again?
No.
Well, I'm the one drinking, and even I'm not doing that.
Yes, I'm going to continue my assault.
Make your roll.
Foul corrupter of metal, I will end you.
I'll be right back.
Is this willpower again?
Yes, please.
That's a 2.
Your felt with might for the taking! This thing screams at you as you push it further and further until it's almost the size of a baby in the smallest shadow there is left in this room, which is filled with this golden light, which glances and reflects off the shiny metal cogs that make up the walls. And as your final plunging blow, what are you going to do to it?
I'm going to fire my Luminum Blast, obviously, as my figment.
Your figment.
Yeah.
And you light this thing up. And this around you, the what appears to have been like a construct plane almost inside this dreadnought's mind and body begins to dissolve. And the dreadnought stutters and stops, and you return to yourself.
Okay, that's my whole turn, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Vladimir,
Yep.
what are you up to?
I'm heading for that big old bit of Valkyrie.
Describe it to me, man.
Balanced.
Describe it to me, man.
So, Vlad pretty much knows. He's seen enough men with wounds like this die. But he knows that in those last moments, that's when any guardsman can achieve greatness. We know when you look the Emperor in the face, perhaps for a moment you can embody him. And he wishes to do this for his comrades.
So what are you going to do, man?
I'm going to barrel towards that chunk of Valkyrie. And how perilously perched on the edge is it?
It's pretty perilously perched. The dreadnought scraped it a few inches towards into the room, but it's still a lot of it is still outside.
Okay. It's going to be my best bet. I think it's going to be pumping a few las rounds into the floor and diving in. Try and weaken the floor at the edge of the window, if possible, and dive into it.
So basically just charging it, emptying your weapon at it, and then and shouldering...
Emptying the weapon at the floor.
Emptying the weapon at the floor and shoulder into this thing.
Yep.
Okay, so can you give me the strength in the system, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you give me a strength check with plus your ballistic skill bonus?
Okay.
In terms of degrees, let's go with. So that's going to be a couple. It's going to be a couple of degrees, but you've got to actually pass the test.
Okay, I'm gonna burn a fate to give +10 to this. Come on. No, I fail by 6.
6.
You can reroll with it as well, Nick.
Yeah, why not? For the
You're not
Emperor.
only spending to do these.
Oh, 100.
100.
Reroll
Yeah.
again if you have got any further.
Oh yeah,
Reroll again.
I've got another fate. Oh my god, 98. Okay, I have
Glory,
literally-
you've got concussion.
I have one fate left. Come on, Vlad, do what you were born to do. 72. No.
You crash into this thing with all of your Vostroyan mass, and it doesn't budge. You bring yourself back and slam it again. This time, your like head and shoulder impact with it, and you feel blood coursing down over your right eye, blinding you for a moment. You drag yourself back again and throw your weight at it one final time, and you basically knock yourself out for about half a second, and wake up slumped against the base of this thing, shoulder still to it, but feeling quite weak. And behind you, you're not really fully aware of what's going on, but you can still hear the sounds of slaughter, and an overwhelming sense of failure fills you.
Oh god.
Get in the shame car.
Octavius,
Jawohl.
around you, these things are now starting to shrug off auto pistol rounds.
Okay.
Their skin is stopping being kind of supple, smooth, purple, and is starting to scale up.
Right. I'm just, well, as a free action, I'll just look at them in abject horror, just trying to figure out what the best course of action to do in this situation, because these aren't just simple perps, your perps that you scare off, but these are shit that's generally scaring him.
So you can see what Vladimir's doing from your position,
Yeah.
and you can also see what Romulus is doing.
Right.
They appear less absorbed in the actual demonic happenings than you. But we'll come back. Romulus,
Yeah.
you've seen what's happened to Vlad.
Right.
What's your action?
Is there any sort of like outward effect from what Septimus is doing to
There-
Mr. Dreadnought, or is this
There will
just
be,
fine?
but not just at this moment.
Okay. Can I get around this towards that, or not at all?
Yeah, well, if you strafe it far enough, this thing is slower than you.
Yeah, I'll make a quick dash around, like in a curve, to get to where Vlad is.
Can you give me an agility roll, please?
Yes. I'm okay at this. Actually, it's one of the best stats. Uh, 75, so that is a fail. I will spend a fate to reroll, because I do not want to get hit by that hammer. 29, pass. 1 degree, 29 to 42. Is that 1 or 2?
1.
Yeah, 1.
1 degree of success.
Okay, you kind of go, take a step to the left and then jump to the right and then start running. This thing screams, "Vulcan, where art thou?" as it swings this hammer towards you, and you feel it almost touch your skull. And like a millimeter of difference, it would have just, even a slightest clip would have just exploded your skull. And you're past it, running towards where Vlad is. What are you doing once you reach there?
What's left of the Valkyrie? Is it just the cockpit that it's tied to?
No, there's like various bits that have kind of like fallen apart, like big bits
Is
of
there
Lego.
Like engine left on the bit that it's tied to?
No.
No. Okay.
This thing is not working.
That's fine. I will hoist Vlad up. Together.
For the Emperor.
Right. Can you combine? Can you, Vladimir? Can you add your strength bonus? Can you help Rom with your strength? I think would probably be the best way to do it, because I think Rom's the one actually testing here, but you're gonna give him a hand. You, Romulus, you're rolling under your both combined strengths.
Okay. What's your strength?
46.
46 added to 36 is 82.
There we go.
What if we roll a fucking 100 now? 1. Seriously, I just rolled a 1.
The two of you. In fact, no. Go on. You guys give me the description for this.
That's 6 degrees of success. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I want your interpretation of what you just did. That is a lot of success.
I think we did the whole very manly arm clasp thing that we do. I did that to help him up, at the very least. And nod, and then both put shoulders in, and just start grinding it out.
So it's a slow push.
That's what I think it is. And gathering speed as we go towards the edge, I think.
Okay. This thing reaches its tipping point and drops out. Now that you're right on the edge, this kind of extremely high altitude air kind of rips the oxygen from your lungs, and you watch as this thing plummets, and you get that kind of oxygen deprivation high for a moment, and you both hear the sound of a rather large dreadnought being dragged in a direct collision path with where you are on the lip of this sill. Can you both make agility checks, please?
Can I use my dodge bonus for this or not?
Yes, you can. Both of you can if you've got it.
Oh dear, that's no fair point because I'm not keeping the thing.
Still 22, so pass.
22, nicely done. And what was that, Gary?
I rolled a 99, so I've used a fate point to reroll it. So I've got 1 fate point left, and I rolled a 15 on the reroll.
Vlad, you leap to the left. Romulus, you leap to the right. And Septimus, from your vantage point, now back in the real world, you know that thing turned off moments after they pushed the bit of Valkyrie over the side, and so it is a shut down dreadnought that rips past them and nearly kills both of them. The room is filled with copulating Slaneshi minor demons that are growing as they copulate. The harder they fuck, the bigger they grow.
Fucking is success!
Run!
Yeah, I'm going to follow that instruction. I can run the fuck away.
Okay, so the four of you surge together and attempt to find a way out, I suppose. Are you going to go, Romulus, are you going to lead them towards the door that you were at?
Yeah, see if it's been damaged enough for me to get it open now.
A few stray auto pistol and shotgun rounds, not looking at anyone, have decimated this door, and you put a shoulder to it and it gives with ease. From behind you, you hear the what sounds like a fairly climactic roar from a couple of them. And you find yourself in a long carpeted corridor, at the end of which is a set of double doors.
Slam through, run and slam through.
This area is plush. very, very plush. There's almost like a similar setup to the one that you've previously seen in Noctine's place with the monitors. But there's also various kind of like warp monitoring stations, and think the control room of Battlestar Galactica, if done by Hugo Boss.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my guns as we're running.
There is a single man in. He's not. That's not his relationship status. That's just. He's
He's a nice guy.
He's flashing his Love Honey profile.
He's a caring lover.
He's bubbly.
Women don't understand him.
He's a nice guy.
He's nice guy TM.
He's also obsessed with My Little Groxy as well.
Ooh.
That was good.
He's very tall. He's wearing purple robes, with gold trim, and appears to have been like both hands down on the control station, watching monitors with ferocious intelligence. And he turns around, and Romulus, you are the first one through the door, I believe.
I'm gonna pop one off at him.
He kind of swells with importance when you went in through initially. This swell is punctuated by the bullet, which tears through his torso, and he staggers back, clutching the console, and falls to his knees, breathing heavily.
This isn't about investigation anymore. This is about punishment. I'm gonna put one for his head.
Okay, well, from this range, you're gonna need to roll to accurately kill him.
Can I walk up and put one through his head?
You can, but that's going to give other people a chance to respond.
Yep, that's fine. I'm gonna start walking towards him then.
Romulus begins walking towards him after he said that. Behind you, the doors close, and you see that you can lock them fairly securely with a closing bar. The room is as I've described it. So there's three of you with actions to react to this. Let's start with Septimus.
I'm going to start walking to the nearest terminal, but as I'm doing that, I'll say logical interjection, elimination of subjects may encounter Slaneshi influence, demons. He's making even less sense grammatically than usual. It's obviously still a bit messed up.
Okay.
Octavius.
Yep.
Can I get your reaction, please?
Well, when he kind of like when Romulus like shoots him in the chest, first you can there's almost like a tangible sensation of I wanted to interview him, but after everything that's happened, all that's he just shrugs with that air of oh fuck it. He has just stopped caring at this point.
So you just kind of shrug and stand and watch.
Well, as well, I'm kind of like checking my gun because this is the most use it's had in a long damn time.
Well, you left your shotgun behind. You picked up an auto pistol.
Well, I'm checking the auto pistol.
It's nearly empty.
Fuck.
And finally, Vladimir.
I want to try and use my command to stop him in his tracks.
Okay. I tell you what we'll do. If we give you a command roll, and then you can say something, and we'll incorporate whether it's a success or failure into what you say. So roll first, then say it. Just normally we'd do it the other way around, but I think this is quite an intense situation, and it's going to really hinge on your roll. Make your roll, Vladimir.
Okay. Romulus, stop. We need him alive, and you know it.
Vladimir, we were sent here to protect this planet before the Tyrant Star arrived, so it wouldn't be lost to chaos. Well, I hate to break it to you, but we have failed this planet. It's something they teach you in the Arbiter Academy. The first thing they teach you is it's our duty to protect the Emperor's citizens. But if you fail in that duty, your next duty is to punish those responsible.
This planet was doomed before we even came. If we can garner even one piece of information from this man, perhaps we can save those left on it. Please, Romulus. We have seen so much together. I know you are a good man, and you know the right thing to do is to not kill this man. Not yet. You can kill him when the time comes, but he may be the key to the salvation for Malfi.
I'll pull the gun up.
Right, what are you doing with this guy then? There is a swivel chair there. So, Romulus, you're closest to him, so what are you doing to him?
I'm stalking off.
You're just completely stalking off?
Yeah.
Okay, Vladimir. Have we lost you again, Vladimir?
No, I'm here.
Well, I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What are you doing with this guy?
Me or Romulus?
No, you, Vladimir. Yeah.
I've walked off into a corner and started smoking a low stick.
Okay, I'm gonna pick him up by the front of his robes with my good arm.
Yep, that's easily done.
Octavius, I need everything you can get out of this man, and quickly. Where would you like him?
I was kind of hoping to kill him, but okay. Secure him to a chair, and I toss Vladimir the manacles I keep on my belt.
I fail to catch them as I'm using my one good hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
You throw this guy into the chair, and then use your good hand to pick up the manacles and secure him to it. At the door, Romulus. I'm going to assume that just good sense comes into play here, and that you do put the fucking lock on this door.
Oh yeah, I will do that. Yeah.
And you secure it up. It looks pretty damn strong. You'd need like a battering ram to get through it. Vlad, can I get each of your positions? So I know, Septimus, that you're going towards the panel, and I'll come to that in a second. But Vladimir, what are you doing whilst the interview is going on? Are you just watching?
I'll get so that I can get a gun trained on the door, just in case.
Gun trained on the door and listening in. Romulus?
I'm leaning next to the door, sticking one hand cannon in the other.
Okay. And Octavius, you're going to be conducting the investigation on this guy.
Yeah.
Septimus?
Yeah, I was gonna pack up and say something. As you guys are kind of throwing you into the chair and manacling him, you'll hear from me something like, "I believe I may be of assistance in this endeavor."
I believe that was to you, Octavius.
Do you have any recording facilities, video and audio, Septimus?
Affirmative. I was indicating a more direct intervention.
You will. I will allow you to intervene physically, but for the time being, I need you to. It's evidence that I'm going to be acquiring from this gentleman. So I'm going. May I ask you to record the interview process for me, please?
Affirmative.
Thank you very much, Septimus.
You're new at this, aren't you?
Well, my colleagues are new to this specific brand of interview. Don't worry.
You, being in the thick of it. You're not used to it. You're new. I can smell it on you.
Yes, it's that. But we're not here about me. We're here about you.
Where do you come from? It's a hive world. No. It is a forge world. No, it's not a forge world. What is it?
Punch him!
No. This is an interview.
I'm gonna punch him directly in the back of the head.
Ah! You're losing control of your interview room, Octavius.
Okay. Sorry. What is your name? I'm sorry. My colleague entered the room first and shot you in the chest. You never start with shooting your subject in the chest. The manacles are merely a precaution.
You sound like
Please,
you're reading
tell me
from
your
a book. Interview me. Interrogate me.
name. If you know so much about me, you know that isn't my style. I prefer to ask questions as opposed to torture. What my colleagues do is a completely different matter.
Ask your questions. I have about 30 minutes until I'm dead from the wound that your colleague has given me, so you better ask your questions fast.
Okay, before we do that, Septimus, do you have any medical supplies?
Affirmative.
Okay, can you do me a small favour and can you patch this gentleman up so we can conduct an interview properly?
You're slowing this down. You're slowing this down. Ask me your questions.
Okay then. What are the plans of Castruccio Rex upon Malfi?
My plans are to save it.
How exactly do you intend to save it, taking into account that we have just encountered creatures that no emperor-fearing man should ever meet again?
Fire must be fought with fire.
Oh, you're one of those kind of inquisitors.
Heretic.
I am no heretic.
Yes, Vladimir, please. He may be using unorthodox methods, but understand there is reason behind it.
You are prevaricating! Get on with the interrogation!
I thought you were an inquisitor. I thought you're not supposed to feel emotion of this level.
You know nothing of inquisitors. You are a brat, a tiny, tiny acolyte. But you have the power in this room, and you're not using it, and it's driving me insane!
Okay, then tell me your plans for this place, or I don't know. I'll shove a shot of glass in your eye. How does that sound?
Like it lacks creativity. But I intend to stop Noctine Malice.
What are the plans of Noctine Malice? I have to admit I don't trust the bastard either.
He is the head, the great revealer of the masked. The cult that has infested Malfi since its inception. I was sent here to destroy that cult, and I have done everything I can to do that.
Do you have any evidence of Noctine's
Banks of it.
Well, would you... If I remove the manacles, are you a man of your word that you will not attack? And that
Why are you talking to me like this? I am your prisoner.
Octavius, we don't need to remove his manacles. Septimus can get the banks of info.
Ah, yes, Romulus, I read your file. This is the correct way. You are all quite amateur at this, though.
As he says that, Octavius looks almost offended. The fact that he always conducts himself with like professional manner. Excuse me, Inquisitor.
You are excused.
Don't talk to me about that.
That's better.
Romulus, I'm tired of diplomacy. I've tried. Septimus, you get the information we require. Romulus, see if there's an excruciating kit.
He talks to you like he's
Interjection.
in charge of this operation.
I believe
He
that
talks
name.
to you. He looks down on you. This
Inquisitor,
is
be
nothing.
quiet.
He is nothing. He
I'm
is
gonna
not
suck
fit
him
to
in the mouth.
lead.
Romulus,
Romulus hits him extremely hard in the face. I have been where you are. And if this
That's good
interview
to know.
is going to go well for any of you,
No, probably not, but I've long accepted that. I don't do this to keep myself young, you know.
such anger. Perhaps you can take my place.
No, I'm just gonna wait until everyone's got what they want here, then I'm gonna kill you, and then I'm gonna kill Noctine.
I can
And
respect
then I'm
that.
probably gonna die, let's be honest.
well, actually, you know what? Do we have any kind of tape? Let's shut this now. We've got all the information we need. Let's toy with him a while.
We don't have time to do that. This planet needs us. This time I'm gonna shoot him right between the eyes.
Right, could I kind of like join him in, like kind of get the auto pistol so we basically got the guns like the back of our hands and pressing up against each other.
I doubt it. I think it sounds like Romulus is surprising the room with this.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
gonna right
Um,
between the eyes.
you bring your gun up, and bring the hammer back.
Wait,
And
Romulus.
with Inquisitor Castruccius Rex's final words, he says, "I name you Inquisitor." And you pull the trigger.
He was mad and he was playing us.
Nice
promotion. Get the info.
Although Romulus, what he said, Septimus was recording that. You're now an Inquisitor.
Only until the rest of the Inquisition get here. Pretty sure he'll have been retroactively stripped of any rank. But
Still
we can
counts
use
for the time being.
Septimus.
Okay, I'm muttering in binary. I seem actually angry and irritated as I go back over to the consoles.
The first thing that strikes you when you interact with the consoles is that the warp dropout point, where everything comes out of the warp and gets ready for interaction with Malfi, is filled with wreckage of Imperial ships, completely filled with it.
Okay.
It doesn't. Your logical mind is very, very quick to distinguish the markings. That looks like the fleet that was going to be coming to back you up. It looks like something happened to it in the warp, and it kind of got chewed up and spat out.
Joy. Okay, I'm going to actually try and access these consoles directly, and get information on Noctine out of the whatever cogitator machines they've got.
Okay, I'm just going to take a moment now to describe what's on these monitors for you, because everyone will have been peripherally aware of this.
Okay.
The majority of them are looking at what appears to be going on inside this spire. The Imperial Guard, as Noctine promised, weirdly he's followed through on this, have kicked in the door and have been battling what appears to now be the forces of chaos. And is actually doing fairly well, and is working its way up the spire, and is possibly only a couple of floors down from your current position. But there are quite a few sort of acolytes come demons, emphasis on the come actually, between you and they. you can see that the corridor that you came through is filled with them, and that is corroborated by the door kind of bouncing on its hinges as they try and batter in.
Or hack their way in.
The other monitors are more kind of general. Some of them appear to be in the lower hives, and you see that a huge rent has opened up in one of the upper hive sections. Sorry, underhive sections, and these mutants daubed in red and carrying high-grade military weapons are swarming through and doing battle with Imperial Guard down there. Elsewhere in the hive, you recognise Kurtz's underlords causing havoc with their psychic powers. And one final monitor has what appears to be like a fly-on-the-wall view of Noctime Malice sat in a chair, watching the events unfold on his bank of monitors, with a glass of a dark spirit in his left hand and a scar in his right. He appears to be smiling from this angle.
We need to get out of here. If those guards are acting on Noctine's order, they'll kill us.
Affirmative.
Well,
Fuck it. You know, by now they'll try to keep it in proper, but if we're doing this, we're probably going to end up dead, so we should have a drink first.
Sounds
you
good.
don't have anything I like. I'll just have a
While
loss.
they're doing this, Ben, I'm going to try and get as much information out of this system setup as I can.
Okay, this is not hard. This was set up. It's like plugging a USB in and downloading the files.
Okay.
It's very, very simple, and the information that you derive is that Castruccio Rex was right. This Noctime Malice he's got tons and tons of information on Noctime Malice and the various nefarious deeds, including the murder of his 6 older brothers, and various other chaotical things, including supplying the mutants with weaponry. Basically, it looks like Noctime had early on established dominance over Castruccio, and Castruccio was trying to get out from under that and battle back. However, one bit of personal information does stick out, and that is that the guard is only the very high ups in the guard are loyal to Noctime. The rest of them have no idea as to their affiliation. They think they're there legitimately. And then more recent stuff appears to be a bit more garbled and a bit more like, I must resort to extreme measures to defeat Noctime. And the Masked.
Okay. Okay, how long does it take to get this information? Basically instant.
Virtually instant, yeah.
Okay, I'll turn around and address everyone else. It appears that Noctime Malice is indeed leader of the cult assigned as Masked.
Well, I suppose we have to go and kill him now then.
How much of the PDF are aligned to Noctine?
Apparently, according to information obtained, only senior echelons, sub-brigadier general and above.
We need to get this information out to the people. We need to form a resistance.
Sounds like a plan. And as I say that, I'm literally kind of hunting around for some kind of alcohol.
Vladimir, I got my promotion. It's time to get you on as well.
What do you mean?
Well, if we get the guard on side, we're gonna need someone to lead him.
I've always liked the sound of Commissar Molotov.
Me too, man. Me too. Good work, Septimus.
Okay.
We should see if there's like an emergency exit or a hidden exit or something.
Imperial Guard, open the door!
Very good.
Quick, get the information up on these monitors.
I fly to the monitors and start typing frantically.
Romulus, nick his rosette. You're technically an Inquisitor now. Get his fucking rosette.
I'll nick his rosette.
You don't want to do that, man. That's a different inquisitorial order.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, I'll flip my rosette around.
Yep. In fact, you probably should all get them blaring at this point.
Yeah, rosette's out, guys.
Mine's a kind of glowing image that's revolving around my head.
Okay.
Mine's just covered in blood now.
Opening the door. Before you shoot us, take a look at the monitors, okay?
You open the doors and IG stormtroopers barge in, followed closely. You know, they were clearly expecting demons. And you get 3 to a man, each of them pointing guns at you and sort of getting you down to on your knees. Mm-hmm. And through the door walks a familiar face for 2 of you. The last time you saw this man, he was accepting a bribe on the port.
Oh shit, okay.
It's a shame Keller's not here.
Someone's gone up in the world.
What is your name? Wait. You? And
Inquisitor Romulus Draco, at your service.
Inquisitorials. And Captain Vladimir Molotov. He salutes. I am Lieutenant Lazarus. At your service, sir.
I'm afraid, Lieutenant, we're gonna have to take command.
I had not expected to find you here. My major was killed.
Vladimir, over to you.
Reporting for duty, sir!
At ease, soldier.
He puts his hands by his side.
Men, there are dark things happening on this planet. How many men are available at this time?
This battalion is currently, he refers to an aide, 700 men strong.
700. Good, good. Are you fully outfitted with heavy weapons teams?
Aye, aye.
Fantastic. Septimus. How much information can you show these men now?
In response, I don't answer. I simply turn and display several images on the screens. Well, there's already images on the screens, aren't there?
Mm.
There's a Noctime sitting, watching his monitors and that. The thing I flash up onto a main screen is the wreckage of the Imperial fleet.
By the Emperor. What is that?
There are men.
Fleet assignment Alpha 1714. Inquisitorial combined forces with Imperial Navy. Assigned task force to the world of Malfi.
Were you going to destroy us?
Negative.
No.
Maybe.
Listen to me, Lazarus. There are men within our own forces, within the Imperial Guard, who would see this planet fall. Traitors to the God Emperor himself. I need you and as many men as we can find to clear out these men and to take down the men behind all of this heresy.
That man. He points at Noctime.
That man.
Sometimes it is not only duty to do one's best. It is a pleasure.
On that, we agree.
Take me to your garrisons. We have work to do.
Might I suggest an alternate course of action, Captain?
Go ahead, speak freely.
My commanding officer is perhaps one of the men that you've spoken of. I suspected it for some time, but did nothing. Emperor saved me.
A good guardsman does not question his commander. He follows orders. You have done well. Speak on.
If we return to the barracks, the likelihood of there being more corrupted IG is higher. With 700 men, I can get you into that room. He looks at the monitor.
Then by the Emperor, let it be done. Lazarus, I'm making you my second in command for Imperial Guard forces on this planet. I'm requisitioning you and all of your men. We move out now.
Yes, sir, Captain Molotov.
Lead the way, gentlemen.
There is a possibly the most aggressive Imperial Guard maneuver anyone has ever seen, as they cut through other IG and also all of the warring factions that are in Malfi. As you kind of go down your hive spire and across to the base of Noctine's hive spire.
Can I just make a slight detail?
Yes, you can.
I was going to be last to leave that room.
Yes.
Take a quick glance around after everyone else left and slip a bit of Rex's flesh into my mouth.
Just have a little nibble.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm just thinking of the ending of the Thriller music video.
Just a tiny little bit, and like I'll mull it over for a moment, and just give myself a satisfied smile and follow everyone else.
Okay, that happens. You guys are fairly you're in like a command unit now, so you're kind of enclosed by Imperial Guardsmen. Lazarus is good at his job. He may be on the take. He may have been commanded by a corrupted officer, but he knows how to do his job. And he may not be Vostroyan, Vladimir, but you are proud to fight by this man's side.
Excellent.
And this is exactly the kind of bravery that was exhibited by the guardsmen that saved your life within minutes of you arriving on Malfi's surface. And they cut a bloody swathe through the upper hive to get you into Noctine's Spire. By the time they reach Noctine's Spire, they are beset by all manner of corn-mutated mutants, Slaneshi acolytes that were spread throughout the hive, Underlord psychers, and all of the other unsanctioned psychers that have just popped up since Comus came in. They've got a bastion at the base of Noctine's Spire. There is no way they can spare any men to get you up there. You have perhaps 30 minutes before that line is overrun, and Lazarus salutes you and draws his last pistol and joins the fight.
I want to shout one final order out to those men.
Go for it.
In the name of the God Emperor, suffer not the heretic to live. Burn the witch. Deny the heretic.
Who is the response.
Fuck yeah.
And the noise of las pistols and las guns and Imperial Guard swords swinging fills your minds on the just this huge tide of horrible mutations and chaos demonics and men looking for an easy kill and people driven to murder swarm the lines of the Imperial Guard, but the Imperial Guard hold firm as the elevator doors close.
My erection knows no bounds.
Do 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 do. The doors open.
Does anyone mind if I smoke? Octavius has literally just been constantly smoking cigarettes this entire time, by the way, even though he doesn't smoke.
I think
You know,
all of us
those
that
are
are
bad
able
for
will
you.
have one in the elevator. Right?
Even
Hey,
Septimus.
I'm gonna put a las round through the no smoking sign in the elevator.
The doors open and you see the manservant, definitely not the sandwich man, holding a silver platter with a glass of dark alcohol on it.
I'll just gut
He
shot him
looks-
as soon as the door opens.
He looks at you all and says, "But the master must have his drink." And is then, sorry, what was that? Octavius, gunned down.
Yeah, I just literally shoot him in the gut and just storm it,
Oh.
just casually walk in.
It's not a kill wound. Well, it's a mortal wound, but it's not a kill
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah,
And
his face just causing pain. Octavius is pissed that he got betrayed.
and this manservant begins. The glass shatters as it hits the ground, and he begins crawling through the alcohol, his own blood, and broken glass towards where his master is, going, "Master, master."
I want to put my foot on
Waste a
his
good
back.
drink.
You do. There's a horrible sound as his face impacts with the broken glass on the ground and grinds against the marble floor. Master.
So someone shut that old fuck up.
I'm just gonna jab him with my stun stick.
So you basically surround this guy. I'm reminded of a certain other roleplay where a character was
Captain
kicked to death.
Kraken.
Captain Kraken was kicked to death. We won't go into it now, but that is highly reminiscent. Anyway, you
Put the boot in.
you put the boot in to this Igor, and look towards the door that he was crawling towards. It's obviously the room that you've previously been in.
Does anyone mind if I do the kicking?
It would
Please.
be an honor.
Please, Romulus. I'll move out the way of the door, almost bowing out the way.
I'm gonna straighten myself up, make sure my badge is nice and straight, helmet on, and I'm gonna kick the door down.
Your boot bounces off.
Well, that's a first.
Who is knocking at this hour?
It's the sandwich man.
What a strange introduction, Vladimir. I'm surprised that you survived that.
Shut it, Noctine. Open this door, or we're gonna call a fucking exterminatus on this.
You are
fucking
quite the obnoxious cunt, aren't you?
island. You'll want a
I
fucking
was
talk, you
talking
traitorous swine.
to your commanding officer, Captain Vladimir Molotov.
I just start giggling when he says commanding officer.
Ben, sorry, does the door look like it's electronically locked?
It looks like it's sealed through like a mechanical lock on the other side.
Okay.
Um,
Is there any kind of lock on this side?
the only thing on this side is like a tannoy, like you experienced in the Underhive,
Okay, yeah, just checking. I
which
could
is
deal
what.
with it if it's-
Yeah, there's no like quick R2D2 input point for you to unblock
Yeah.
this door.
Okay.
Now,
Well,
I've got some cameras on you, and I can see that you are heavily armed. I will let you in, but I require you to divest yourself of your armaments.
And I divest yourself to go fuck a fruit basket.
That is not going to get you in this room. In fact, before you enter this room, I demand that you execute that man.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Well, you are not getting in here, then.
How about this? I'll drop my weapons and just I'll come in.
You know what? I was dealing with this man. I will give him my gun, and I will come and talk to you man to man.
Where's the honor in that, Vladimir? He betrayed you. I
We're
know
going
what
to
you
discuss
historians
it.
like with honor.
I'm going to discuss this like a gentleman.
I'll make a clenched fist and like mime punching to Octavius.
If the rest of you can withdraw, I will open the door for Vladimir. Now, Vladimir, do I have your word, your solemn oath, your pact, if you will, that only you will enter this door?
I'm going to glance at the guys next to me, give them sort of stern look. Da, you have my word.
Then we are in agreement. We have made our second agreement. I do like it when the bargaining continues. Do recede, gentlemen, and I shall open the door.
Vladimir, anything happens, I'll make it right.
I know.
I'll give him a nod and head away.
I'll hand him my lad's pistol before he goes as well.
I tap him on the shoulder, and you know Octavius doesn't like human contact, so that means a lot.
And are you all withdrawing from the door?
Well, out of view of the camera.
But you're withdrawing from the door is the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Vladimir. The door opens and you enter. It closes behind you. The tannoy falls silent, guys. But obviously, feel free to listen into this. Vladimir, you find yourself within a foot of Noctine, and his smile puts you off guard slightly. Vladimir, you are looking well, though you do have a cut over your eye. I believe we have a first aid kit around here. My Igor should be able to sort that out.
The sandwich man is not feeling well.
You shot him, did you?
No, I did not.
Is he dead?
I can only assume so.
That is sad. A good servant is hard to come by. Now, I understand that you are angry, but we have much to discuss, and I believe you are a man of intellect. Am I right?
I'm afraid not. I'm gonna slam my forehead into his face.
roll your weapon skill. Your attack roll.
Is this a standard attack?
He's flat-footed though, so he's not going to get a reaction against it. So if you pass your test.
No, I fail it by 10.
No.
Oh, come on, let him have it.
Noctine takes a half step to the left, grabs the side of your head, and redirects your headbutt into the door that you just came through. There is a metallic thunk. Which you guys outside here. And you reel away. He moved weirdly fast for a man that looks like a bit paunchy and middle-aged.
Yeah.
I do hope that you will rescind that comment. We have much to discuss.
Make it quick, then.
Do take a seat. I have only a few minutes to give you.
I'll say I'll just move over near a chair and lean on it. So when you sit on the back of it or like the arm of a chair.
Yeah.
Rested, but not all the way down.
He kind of matches your position in the room. He doesn't take a seat. He just kind of stays at roughly the same angle as you, and says, "You may have noticed some goings on in this hive."
A few.
Let me assure you that this is not restricted to this hive. Every single hive over this planet that has not yet been destroyed is overrun in this fashion.
And from what I understand, you have quite a lot to do with this.
I may have supplied Raga with his weapons, though Kurtz was not of my doing, and Castruccio Rex's big-dicked acolytes were also not of my doing, though I do enjoy the chaos that it brings. See, what you've got to understand, Vladimir, is that people wear masks wherever they go. In this civilized Imperium, Every man wears a mask of refinement, devoted duty, beneath which lies our natural affinity for lurid machinations, for chaos, for death, and terror. The Empire is a lie. The Emperor is dead. And your entire organization is a sham. I have sought to prove that to the people of this planet. My people. For they are my people, and only an Inquisitor may remove me from my position.
Every friend would say logical interjection. We have an Inquisitor.
You let Castruccio Rex live?
No. Oh, no, very, very much no. Lots of holes in him. But, I brought a friend. Perhaps if you were to switch on your tannoy.
He switches it on.
Inquisitor Draco?
Yes, Commissar Vladimir?
Would you be so kind as to say, Noctine Malice, I relieve you of your post?
Oh, of course. Noctine Malice. I relieve you and all of your family of your post.
This is the first time you ever see his composure break. Well, this is unexpected. The tannoy is going to stay on now, guys.
Hey Vlad, kick him in the dick and run.
You do not understand what I am trying to teach you here, Vladimir. I am trying to open your eyes. I am trying to reveal to you the secrets of the universe. But you throw them back in my face. You give back the gift. It is not to be bought. It is not to be sold. This planet is mine. And no poxy, half-assed Inquisitor is gonna say no to me. No one says no to me. I am Noctine Malice.
No. Take a seat, civilian.
He takes a seat.
I'm going to stand over him at full height.
Your
time
regret
here
this.
is up.
You will regret this.
No. I may regret this.
I want to punch him as hard as I possibly can in the face.
Yeah, I think this one's going to definitely go through. You crack his cheekbone, and his left eye kind of slightly bulges out, and he screams. He's clearly just gone blind in that eye.
Oh, shit. That's both hands now.
Your left wrist pops out of joint as you impact with him.
Hey Vladimir, can you open that door for us?
Probably. Is there any obvious way to open the door?
Yeah, there's a simple button on this side which appears to drop a counterweight.
I'll stroll over and elbow the button, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hands aren't working.
The door slides open.
Okay, I, Octavius, walk in, kind of like with a kind of twisted swagger, if you will. His veneer of professionalism now all but gone, low stick sticking out of his mouth, stubble, everything. I have been wanting to do this for a long fucking time, you upper class shit. Although Romulus might want to kill you, but fuck it, he's killed enough people today. Is it okay to execute Noctine?
Well, I think probably everyone should be in on this
Okay.
procedure, because everyone obviously enters at the same time, roughly.
Hey, does everyone remember that old training thing where you'd all kind of like throw someone into a thing? You know, everyone get a limb. We're gonna chuck him out the fucking window.
That sounds good.
Well, it may take a couple of swings, so we'll have to use his head as a battering ram, but...
I'm... While this is going on,
I am Noctine Malice.
I want
you're
to
not.
hold
So
my...
that's pistol.
Right, Septimus, have you got any knives on your Bacandrites? Because
Do
I'm
what
sick of
you
hearing
will
this
to
fuck's
me.
voice.
Do what you will to me. It's already done. Your fate is already sealed.
Yeah, well... Actually, you know what, gentlemen? Let's not kill this man. Let's cut out his tongue, strip him of all identity, and send him to work in the Underhive. How does that sound?
I don't think there's going to be any work going on in the Underhive on this planet anytime soon.
Okay, what about a penal legion?
I think we should leave... All right. Prison. Okay.
Sorry, Nick, we're gonna have to get that from you again because it cuts out.
Perhaps we should leave his penal region alone.
No,
Oh,
penal
prison.
legion, my historian
Prison.
friend.
I thought we were back on Castruccio.
No. Although he did seem like a nice gentleman.
I think we should not mess around here, because we've seen some messed up shit today.
Go
I
on,
speak-
Septimus.
I speak quite quietly. Logical interjection. We require evacuation. And I walk up to where Noctine's sat, because I've been hanging back a bit while you guys have been basically arguing about how you're going to kill him. Noctine Malice, please enlighten me as to the nature of your emergency escape route.
He takes both of his hands and puts them on either side of his like belly, almost like he's holding up a belt that isn't there, and appears to, you know when you're a kid and you play with your play guns with your index finger and your thumb, and you drop your thumb to be the hammers of the gun. He draws his hands up like that and points to the screen. The first one is appears to be an overall picture of each one is now a picture of a hive from outside, and he clicks the hammer down, and the hive begins to implode. And he clicks his second finger, and the next hive begins to implode, and he begins to do the whole kind of 6-shooter routine across the hives as they collapse.
Can I grab his hands with my Mechandrites?
Yes, you can.
Crush them.
Yes. So does that stop him doing it?
He's stopping making the clicks. He's still giggling and watching the screens, and the hives are still imploding.
Right. Okay.
Septimus, what is the average number of people in each one of those hives?
I do not care.
Just give us a ballpark estimate, please.
I'm looking straight into Noctine's eyes at this moment in time.
You see utter madness.
Septimus,
I
don't let him
believe-
enjoy this.
I believe punishment may be in order.
You know
These
what?
ones are yours, Septimus.
Yeah. Please. Please have fun, my mechanical friend. You deserve it. I'm sorry for what we made you have to do.
Okay.
Sorry,
Fair.
yeah, I'm just gonna leave this room.
I'm going to make a Medicaid check to lobotomize him.
Yes.
Okay. Make your check.
What I want to do is I want to leave him functionally intact. As in, he'll be capable of speaking and talking to us, but I want to essentially destroy everything else. So I want him to have awareness, so I want to destroy very specific regions. So I want to destroy, basically, essentially make him a human servitor is what I'm thinking.
Okay,
Nice.
Can we get your Medicaid check, please?
Okay, I'm going to spend a fate point to give myself plus 10 to this. What difficulty do you want me to do this check at?
Plus 30. No,
Plus 30.
plus 40. Plus 40.
Fucking hell.
Can I get?
This is a field lobotomy, mate.
Can I
Okay,
spend one of my
20.
fate points to help him with it?
No, if you do that, you will fuck up his check.
So you give me plus. So is this at minus 40 difficult? But plus 40 is easy. Yeah.
No, as in, like, I don't really know how to express the difficulties in this. This is increase the difficulty by 4 degrees.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
Right, that's no problem. So let's see. Okay, that's still 4 degrees success.
Wow. Right, can you give me a long? Can you give me a nice, not long, but like concise, full description of what you're doing to this man and how you're doing it?
Okay, I surgically opened the nasal cavity, so his nasal cavity and his kind of the tip of the eye are kind of opened, and bore a small hole in the skull, and pull out individual strands of brain matter, and hold them in front of his eyes and then destroy them one at a time.
With your Macandrites?
Yeah.
Do you just kind of crush them in front of his head, in front of his eye?
Yep.
Oh
By the way,
dear.
I'm watching this entire thing smoking a low stick.
I'm gonna attribute you some insanity here, both of you.
And corruption, I hope.
Yeah, there's gonna be corruption for both of you. Let's do this.
Okay.
That's a further 9 points, Septimus.
Not quite 50.
Not quite to 50. And 10 for you.
Okay, so I'm up to 13 corruption.
I believe that's a malignancy test from both of you.
No, I'm on 49.
Yeah, but you under 40 before. It's for every
No, I
time.
was on 40.
Ah.
40 exactly this time.
Oh, this will be easy for me. Okay, so malignancy test. This gives me willpower, right?
Yeah.
12.
And your willpower is what?
My willpower is 43.
43. That is a stonking success. You feel a darkness creeping inside you as you enjoy watching a man be lobotomized in an extremely showy and unpleasant fashion.
I'll just put it down to justice.
Okay, as soon as I've finished and move what I want to move, I'll say exactly the same thing to him. Look at her again. Noctine Malice. Please enlighten me to the nature of your emergency evacuation.
Great, I think he just shot himself.
Pay attention, Noctine. Enlighten me.
Well,
Affirmative.
Well, I'm depressed.
Septimus, can you find a way to broadcast the message from here? Planet-wide, everything that's left, and any ships in close orbit.
I will establish whether this is possible.
Thank you.
My voice has lost that kind of human quality it had in it when I was enjoying torturing this dude. Because I'm really heavily corrupted now.
I can tell.
I've gone to find the liquor cabinet.
It's a palatial mansion. I mean,
Yeah, I don't care. I need a drink.
After
ultimately you
watching,
find one.
After watching him get lobotomized, I'm just thinking, right, I'm bored now. I have to try and find Romulus to try and get a drink off him and a low stick, so I'm now fresh out.
Is it possible, Ben, to do what Vladimir's asked?
Yes, I think you can probably. I think the lot of you kind of like begin searching for rooms to get what you want, and you find a communique system. Obviously, because you're at the top of the hive spire, in what appears to be like a what was once like a private suite. There is alcohol in there, and the ability to contact the outer systems. And what message are you sending?
Captain Vladimir, which message would you like to proceed in sending?
Turn on the microphone. I wish to speak.
I do so.
Citizens of Malfi, and all listening systems. This is Commissar Vladimir Molotov, Vostroyan Firstborn, 32nd. Reporting. The planet of Malfi has fallen to ruin. Despite the work of myself, my comrades, and recently promoted Inquisitor Draco, this world is destined to fall. At this juncture, I am unaware as to whether we will make it off-world. This is a formal request. Any Adeptus Astarte ships capable of finding this signal. Authorization code. Exterminatus. Please, burn this world. There is nothing left. Even if we are still here, there is nothing to save. There are brave men, brave women, but it is little more now than a husk. Molotov, signing off. The Emperor protects.
One of the far-reaching foundations implodes. You assume charges were set by Noctine in every single hive, and Primus would be the last. And around you, everything that looks like the world begins to crumble and explode and move and shift like metal and stone shouldn't. And everything begins collapsing around you. The drinks in your hand fade away almost, and you are sent tumbling through rubble on an impossible scale. This is a continent's worth of rubble collapsing from multiple kilometers up in the air. You are battered, bruised, beaten, and throughout it all you hear the screams of chaos. Some of you, however, feel that you have won a victory here. There has been a descent of Malfi, and the Darkest Heresy will be extinguished.